Welcome to Hump Day with Hollywood Hay. We're at Tampa Bay today, Mr. Terry. All right, well, off of Parks. Yeah, fun day yesterday there at Parks. Plenty of picks that came in. Just missed on that last pick 4 with that 10 horse. And what's really sad about that 10 horse is with the data sheets and just not completely update. Last night I finished the phase 1.3 or 2 or whatever phase I'm on. So we'll be launching something by the beginning of the year. So you keep an eye out for that. For today's sheet, to keep along with the show, if you go over to my Twitter account, HRT Rich on Twitter, there it is, HRT Rich. You'll see a link right here. There's today's show. The sheets that we're using right there. You'll see all of the content. I added a couple of new rows in there for convenience. Again, HRT Rich on Twitter. If you're not following me, do so, especially if you like to play the NFL too. I think I'm like 9 or 10 games over 500 on the year if you play the NFL. So that's supposed to be the toughest league to wager and win. Yeah, well, so far, we're wagering and winning. Hopefully we wager and win today with some free picks at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Today's free track is Mahoning Valley. I think so. Right there it is. Yes, yeah. Mahoning Valley. Just head on over to the Guaranteed Tip Sheet using the link in the description, and you can get those free picks today, starting with a claiming race in race number 1. As I mentioned, Terry, we're going to do Tampa Bay Downs, all Florida, for this week before Christmas. Yeah, that'll get you into Christmas spirit. Palm trees, oceans, and warm air. Never mind white Christmas. But what's going on in the first race at Tampa Bay on this Hollywood Hump Day?
Well, it's a 6-furlong race. It's a maiden claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, purse $20,000 for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
Yes, and 6 furlongs, profile of a winner. That does favor horses that have early speed a lot, Terry. 56% of the time you get the lead. Guess what? You hold it all the way into the winner's circle. There is an inside-out bias with a very strong rail. Looking at today's race, Terry, we do 1,000 simulations. We want to see who has the best chance to get the lead. As we mentioned, getting that lead is a 56% way to win. We also want to look at, based upon the horse's best performances, how likely today's race is to match that pace. Q30, anybody with a score of 30 or better, you should think about heavily adding into your picks. Par plus in our 1,000 simulations. What percentage of the time they ran a speed figure equal to or better than the Brisnett's par speed figure of 75. And finally, simulation odds. We want our horses' odds at post time to be higher than our simulation odds. Terry, 56% get to the lead. Who's going to have it?
Well, the 6 is going to have that lead if it gets out of the gate all right, and the jockey makes a good decisions. Should get to that quarter pole first. 2 has an overlay of 6-1 to 10-1. The 4 has an overlay from 6-1 to 10-1. The 5 has an overlay from 5-1 to 8-1. And all but the 1 and 3 have par plus numbers. And 6, 5, 1, and 3 have C zones. And the 3 and the 6 have pretty nice Q30s.
Along with our handicapping, we do our simulations. We do trip handicapping where the horses want to be. E's on the lead. P's or EPs can co-pilot. PCs, they can be middle, forward, back, sometimes on the front even. Closers. NCs not within 5 lengths of the leaders at the finish line. And 2, 4s, and 7 going to run for the first time today. Of the horses with experience, the 6 is by far the fastest out of the gate, so maybe the best chance to go wire to wire. The 1 and the 3 have the best late speed, so maybe that 1, the favorite right now, sits right off the pace and closes it out at the end. Top 4 usually accounts for the winner. There's only 4 in here. The 6 is actually 4 points better than the rest. Terry, who's taking home the prize in the first race for you today?
I like the 1, Oops Haha. She has finished in the money in 3 out of 4 career races, and the rail post winning at a 24% clip. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Lots of boxes marked off. Number 6, County Economics, ran second in her last race at Colonial Downs, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. The 7 is my third choice, Universal Joy. She's a first-time starter whose sire wins 16% of the races with first-time starters. Her dam has 2 winners from 5 starters. Her breeding suits today's sprint distance. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 20% of the starts in debut maiden claiming races. And then number 3, Dream Wife dream life. She finished third in her only start, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. No additional bets for me here.
I'm going to start. Yeah, I can't really stomach at this level a 4-5 or 1-1 morning line favorite. So I'm going to take 2 cracks at beating the one. The country economics has an aggressive early speed edge, as we saw. All of the race internals and the fractions were better last time out. So maybe the 6 can keep that lead. Number 7, Universal Joy is the highest rated first-time starter. That will be in our data as well. All of my numbers you see down here. Here are your first-time starter stats, folks. There's everything we talk about in this show and more. It's available in that. The number 1, oops, haha, okay. I can't leave her out of our picks. Did run the top last race, speed figure, 4 points clear. Again, that's in those sheets. And then finally, the 3-horse Dream Wife, Dream Life, maybe the most upside, making only the second career start. We have $100. Benny and the bets at the tracks. So I'm going to take 5 of those or 10 of those dollars. I'm going to try to beat that one. Terry's favorite angle, heavy favorite. Put a couple of horses on top of it and see if maybe one or two can beat it, and then get an exacta that pays nicely if a nice long shot hits. I'm only going to go with 2 horses on here because I had $10 left after my main bets, and I figured, what the heck, I'll take a crack. It's probably going to go 6-7 now because I didn't do it the other way. It'll
probably go 5-1 or 4-1.
Yeah, I could do something we don't have, right?
Yeah.
It'll probably go something like the 5 and the 2. That's going to be your exacta right there. So surprisingly, the 1 horse is only 1-1. I expected its odds to be a little bit lower. The 6 horse is 2-1. I was kind of hoping its odds would be higher. The first-time starter, the 8, that might be where some value is found. The 4 horse, heck, our simulations odds have that one at 6-1. That one's 30-1. I mean, $2 win bet. It pays for your day if that one comes home first, Terry.
Yeah. Nice overlay on that 5, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, while we wait, there's just a couple left to load, so we'll get to some other house cleaning in just a moment. All right, I think we're waiting on the 6 and the 7. Well, now the 1 is down to 3-5. All right, there we go. And they're about to load for the opening day at Hump Day at Tampa Bay with myself and Terry Hay. They're in and they're out. And as expected, the 6 horse broke sharply. The first-time starter, really not all that engaged. The 4 horse, Terry, you said look out for that 4. Well, that 4 did go to the lead. The 1 horse, that big favorite on the rail. First-time starter way in the back there, kind of up the track. So perhaps something to keep an eye on in the second career start, especially if he can close with some aggression here at the end of the race. Opening quarter, 22.33 seconds, the 4 horse. At 50-1, that was an overlay there, Terry. Continues to hold the lead. The 6 and the 1 are gaining ground. The 5 horse, 3 wide, the 2. The first-time starter, 7, he's just going for a joyride in the back. Down around the bend they come. It does look like the 6 horse is moving best of the bunch, although the 1 horse is going to be able to split that rail and go. And the 2 horse, that one, Charlie's Charade, it's trying to make an effort on the upside. But the 1 horse right now is pulling away, although that 2 horse in there, Charlie's Charade, is coming aggressively, might run that one down at the wire, but he doesn't. 1, 2, 3, and 6, folks. 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 4, and then kind of jogging home the first-time starter with the 7. For me, I took a shot. Didn't happen. The 1 horse, as the bettors bet and the morning line favorite, went off at 1-5 by the time they crossed the finish line. Personally, I would skip that race more often than not, just hoping that it finished second. Low odds, second place. Our good friend Tom, one of his favorite betting strategies too. Race number 2, Terry, is what we'll do here. This one starts the early pick 4. We'll have some thoughts about the pick 4 in just a minute. Before that, let's share the conditions for the second race today.
7 furlongs, maiden claiming race, $25,000 claiming price, purse $22,000, and it's for maidens, 2-year-olds.
Okay, that's it. I thought you were going to say something else there.
I did too, but it wasn't there. So,
so 7 furlongs favors tactical speed, be middle forward. 26% of the time, though, if you're on the lead, you keep the lead wire-to-wire types. Rail bonus for Devil of a Ramadi, 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7 get a discount. 8 and out. That is the best place to be, Mr. Terry. So for this maiden claiming $25,000 race for 2-year-olds, who has the best chance to get the lead here?
Well, the 1 and the 6 both have pretty close speed. I think they're going to go head-to-head to that quarter pole. The 3 has an overlay from 6-1 to 10-1. The 4 has an overlay from, I guess that's even money, to 2-1.
Well, it's at 1-2.
Oh, 1-2. Okay.
Yes.
And then the 4 has the only par plus number. The 1 and 2 have the best C zones, and the 4 and the 6 have a nice Q30.
Yes, indeed. So again, maiden claiming, lots can happen here. In the second race, our race shape, well, 2 and 8. They've not been close, so maybe you can fit the fire and high water mark off your bet. So maybe not. 1 and 6 want to lead. The 4, that's the Sesame Street horse, unlike all of the others. And then 3, 5, 7 want to close. At the get-go, does look like the 1 horse and the 6 horse are going to go out first. They have about a half a length advantage over the pressure horse. So it looks to me like everything's going to set up just like the race shape suggests. When the race is coming to a close, it does look like it's pizza time. It's always pizza time for me. There's one thing I could eat every day, Terry, it would be pizza. Unless somebody foolishly puts pineapple on it, then I will kick you out of my house. Emirates Honor will be coming late too, but that one's about 3 lengths behind the 4, so it'll have to scoot a lot closer to the lead if it wants to maximize that. At the end of the race, its pizza time is 8 points clear of El Galan. Usually 5 points equates to about 1 length. So if our friend Chris Parmalu, Horse Racer X on Twitter, is right and pace makes race, it's pizza time. Should be chicken dinner time today. Terry, what do you think?
Well, I like it's pizza time. Ran second in his last race, has a high percent winning trainer, wins 26% of the starts when taking a horse up 1 class, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and a bullet workout, 4 furlongs on December 7th. Emirates Honor, the 7, my second choice, finished 3rd versus similar in his only start. He has a high percentage winning jockey and a good workout on December 11th. Number 2, Fit to Fire, is my 3rd choice, drops in class today. He has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 17% of the starts when taking a horse down 2+ classes. And then the 6, El Galan, is my long shot. He finished 3rd versus similar in his last race, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm going to play the very first Miami Vice Don Johnson pick 4 and try to get another win, as I won the pick 4 yesterday in the first set of picks 4s. And I'm going to use 2, 4, 6, 7 with the 1, 2, 6, 8 with the 2, 3, 6 with the 2, 7, a $48 ticket.
I'm going to think the 4, it's pizza time, is winning time today. It's graduation day for its pizza time. Has that top total pace score, is the top last race speed figure score, only par plus horse in the race. It is our simulation favorite, does have a bullet workout. I just hope it's not the low odds second place horse here. Fit to Fire, the 2 horse. That's the next choice for me. This one's taking a 1 length class drop today. Did show better early and late pace last time up. Second start after a layoff, and it's coming in from Gulfstream Park, and almost always horses that come up from the East Coast to the West Coast of Florida improve. High water mark, the 8 horse. This one is dropping in from Saratoga. Does have a steady set of works getting prepped for its race at Tampa Bay. And I would suspect the move from Saratoga to Tampa Bay is a track drop. And then 6, El Galan is my final choice. Should be forward today. Gets a 10-pound weight break. I'm going to do a pick 4, 2, 4, 8, 1, 6, 8, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 7, 3 by 3 by 3. And that's my late pick 4 too, because I really had a hard time just separating out 1 or 2 horses. This might have been the race I could have done it. I went 20 to win, 10 to place on the 4 horse, a little bit more of my $50 budget. I think this one might be the most, aside from the one in the first race, the most probable winner on the rest of the card today. Terry has a different best bet, and that'll be coming up. To make sure you don't miss Terry's best bet today or any day, what's the best thing you can do on hump day, Terry?
Well, you can go to the YouTube channel, our channel, and subscribe to it. Hit the bell so that you're notified about all the different programs we have and what time they come up. Go ahead and copy that link below and share it with all your friends, relatives, neighbors, everybody that you know, so they can come and check us out too. Then go to our social sites such as X, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue. Is it called Blue?
It's Blue Sky, I believe.
Blue Sky at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us a thumbs up and a like. That'll help us out a lot. And then also keep these comments coming on the during the show, and also your picks, as it helps us with our algorithms, and we like to see them and be involved with you folks.
Yeah, the show's more fun the more interactive it is, and the more interactive it is, it's a great way to help the show because it helps us with the SEO search engine scores. So the more you interact with us, the higher our search engine scores, the more likely other people who are searching for horse racing content will find us. So very easy way. Like button helps us. Interactivity helps us. When the show's over, we'll timestamp every race in the description on YouTube. So if you go press the more button, you'll see every race. If you want to come back and relive or watch in advance Terry's best bet, you can come back and watch that over and over and over again at your will. All right, so for race number 3, Terry, they're going to go to the grass, going to go for a mile, and what are they running for?
Okay, it's a claiming race, a $16,000 claiming price, purse $20,500 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
So 1 mile on the grass. They're going to start back here, so it's a 2-turn. It means you better be fit if you're going to make that 2 tight turns there at Tampa Bay Downs. You better have the ability to close because closers do win. Only 11% so far have gone wire to wire. Post positions are mostly fair, so you don't really get an edge. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a discount. 8 and out gets a little bit of a small bonus, but no deal makers, no deal breakers. Speed, Terry, well, it's not important. If you can get off to an easy lead, you probably got a good shot. And it looks like the speed is pretty evenly distributed through this one.
It is. It's an anyone's guess race as they all show some speed. The 3 has an overlay from 5-1 to 6-1. 4 has an overlay from 7-1 to 30-1. And the 5 has an overlay from 9-5 to 15-1. All but the 9 and 10 have par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones.
Yes, indeed. So I think we're going to look at the race shape next. Well, most everybody middle back, not surprising for a track and bias that fits closers, but still with only a couple up front, if you can steal easy fractions, you might be able to add to that 11% wire-to-wire number. But it is pretty competitive up front. I would guess that the 1 and 3 are your likely pace setters because they're on the inside. Although that 8-horse, Bolt of Paradise, it's done its best work as a closer. Its early speed puts it in contention right away. We call those left arrow horses, and they tend to be very dangerous. At the end of the race, where closers do win, Jasse, Dame Catherine, Compass Rises, those 3 are by far your best closers, about a little more than a length better than everybody else. Not shockingly, many of those end up in your top 4 again, and there's a 10-point drop from here. So 1, 6, 3, and 8, 70% chance plus one of those 4 wins. Terry, which one do you think it is?
I like the 2, Era. She won her last race at Tampa Bay, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then the 1, Dame Kathleen, is my second choice. She finished 3rd versus similar on the dirt in her last race and can improve at this shorter distance. Bolt of Paradise, the 8, is my 3rd choice, finished 3rd in her last race. Her best turf speed is fast among today's starters. Switches to high percentage winning jockey, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. And this trainer wins 33% of the starts when taking a horse up 2+ classes. Then I like the 6 is my long shot. She ran 2nd versus similar in her last race, and she has a high percentage. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance. No additional bets here for me.
In the 3rd race, I'm going to begin with the 6-horse. Jasai just missed at this level in its last race. Did show much better early pace. And this horse does definitely look much more suited for turf than dirt. Dame Catherine, that 1 horse on the rail right there. Top total pace, 7 points, clear of the next closest horse. Did show some better early speed last out. It is the biggest class dropper in the field today. Bolt of Paradise. Well, if you know anything about Tampa Bay Downs, then you know you have to include jockey Pablo Morales in your picks. So I did. And then finally, number 5, Permed. That is our simulation favorite, 9-5 compared to 15-1 morning line odds. I'm going to take her, hope for an in-the-money finish. So today I'm going to do something a little bit funky with my bets, Terry, aside from the early 2. I have a couple of these long shots that graded out as sim favorites. I don't need them to win. I'm just hoping that one of them or maybe 2 of them finish second or actually do win. And then I'm putting 5 other horses with them in exacta key boxes. And who knows, maybe you hit a $100, $200 exacta. So be cautious today with my pets, folks, as I'm swinging for the fences, as our old friend Charles used to say.
Yep.
Well, that's the way it goes. Hey, Tayfum, how are you? Good to see you again. Hope you both like the 2 in race number 3. Race number 3.
Terry likes
Terry
it.
likes the 2. Yeah, Rich, I don't even have the 2 in my picks, Eric. So I don't know what's going on with that. I propose that that's not very nice, Private Ross. Welcome home. How are you today? Okay, Tayfum, how are things in Turkey? Someone showed me some Turkey videos from in Turkey where a lot of people from around the world are going into Turkey for like $3,000 to get like it's like tourism. They put you in like a 5-star accommodations and they do like every possible medical test for like $3,000. It would be the equivalent of like $100,000 worth of tests here in the United States. So
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So maybe I'm going to come over there, Tayfum, and do all my medical tests. That would be fun. All right, let's go to race number 4 as our next race to discuss today. What's happening in race 4?
It's a mile and 40 yards, a claiming race, a $10,000 claiming price, purse $23,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
Best bet. Our best bet's coming, Tayfum. Just hold your horses, my friend. I know maybe they're a little bit impatient in Turkey, but we'll get there. I promise you. It's part of the show. At a mile and 40 yards, the only race today that they're going to run that distance. Tactical Speed wins. 1 out of 4. Gate to wire to the winner's circle. A rail penalty, so maybe Murumbi has to run a little bit better than its 6-1 odds. 2 and 3 get a bonus. 4 through 7 a discount. 8 now gets a bonus too. So a little bit of an accordion effect. Terry, 1 out of 4 goes wire to wire for the distance and surface. So who has the best chance to do that here?
Well, it looks like the 7 does. If you can look there, all of them have some speed, but the 7 has more speed than the rest of them by far. The 3 has an overlay from 4 to 5 to about 7 or 8 to 5. All of the horses have par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones, especially the 3, 6, and 7 and 1.
And let's see, right? Let me know. Turkey, Be Our Guest Hotel is very nice. Lujo Hotel. All right, well, we'll look at that. And Terry and I, maybe we'll take you up on your offer, Tayfum. We're going to come out there. I think we're thinking about what, Terry, 6 months stay? Is that about right?
Yeah.
All expenses paid, food. Yeah, beautiful. We're looking forward to that. That'll be fun. All right, so our race shape for the 4th race in here. Everybody wants to be middle back. Maybe this race is the race to look at that 2 horse. This one, Chem Major, the only one that wants to be forward, although all of them except the 5 have versatility because they're in the EPPC column. So a lot of different directions this race can go. At the start, Simmering, as we saw in the simulations, is the fastest horse, about a length quicker than everybody else. So if anybody's going to go wire to wire, that's your most likely candidate today for this race anyway. Chem Major, that is your number 1 closer, about a length better than everybody else. Should be in a nice stalking position to use those late legs. Also grades out as your top total pace horse, 5 points clear of Salagadula. And then they drop off again from there. So maybe just take the 2 and 3, tighten them up for an exacta box, and call it a day. Terry, that's not what we do. What did you do?
Well, in this 4th race, I like that 6. She has won 2 races in a row, goes for a hat trick, has a high percentage winning trainer. The 3 is my second choice, has won 4 races out of the last 6 starts, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 2, Chem Major, is my 3rd choice. She finished in the money in 9 out of the last 10 career races, and winning 3 of those races, and she has a returning to a route would be a plus. And then I like the 4 as my long shot. She finished 3rd versus similar in the last race, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. No additional bets for me here.
Could you write for Tafum your best bet, Terry? He's working now. He's
do that. I'm going to do that right now.
I just like the name Salagadula. Why not? If you got a name like that, you deserve to be at the top of the picks there. But did run the top last race speed figure. It was 6 points better than everybody else. It is our simulation favorite, 94% par plus. So that's a pretty high score right there. And last time showed lots of signs of life with faster early fractions. Chem Major, the 2-horse, that was our top total pace horse. A length better than the rest of the field. Does have a maintenance work between races to keep the Stephen Covey saw sharp. Another one, Affilata, the 6-horse. That's a fun name to pronounce too. Won its first race at Tampa Bay Downs with some ease. And that was after flying down from the New York tracks from Naira. And then finally, Sing Scat, the 4-horse. We both agree that one goes in the 4 spot. Did hold its speed longer last out. Never off the board in 5 races on the Tampa Bay dirt. When the show is over, head on over to horseracingtoday.net. Right here, you will see there will be a big picture with a link to today's show right there. Our picks, our commentary, along with a replay of the show. Again, on the YouTube channel, if you click the more in the description of the show, we will timestamp every race so you can come back and watch them at your leisure. If you come back and watch them, again, that helps us with our YouTube algorithm because returning visitors is one of the highest scoring items on their algorithm for search rankings. And when you get there, hit HRT gear. Winter is coming for sure. Get yourself a nice warm hoodie. This one's about 5 years old and doesn't look it. So they hold up very well over time. So it is money well spent. And also money that supports the show, which we greatly appreciate. All right, Tafum, there you go. Race 8, number 5, Sir Robert Hall. That's where you want to go with Terry's best bet of the day. We're still a few races away from that. The middle race on this 9-card affair today is race number 5, Terry. So let's go about our business and talk about that one.
All right, we're going to go to a mile 16th. It's back on the turf. It's an allowance race. $25,000. It's a purse of $29,500 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $25,000 or less in 2023, 2024.
So a mile into 16th, only run 12 of them so far. Closers win; they dominated so far. Anyhow, and when I was at Tampa, maybe 2 years ago, with Jamie Martinez and Willie, I did notice a lot of horses coming off the pace there at turf at Tampa Bay Downs to close out. None have won from the rail, so Simply Striking will have to do something that none of the other 12 have done so far. 2 and 3 have a hard time as well. 4 through 7, that's where it gets fair. Really, the best place to be is 8 and out, Mr. Terry. So, with that being said, speed's not really all that important in the 5th race. It's still useful, though, to be properly placed early on. Who's likely to have lead when it starts?
Well, they all show speed, but the 3 and the 4 show the most speed, so they could go head to head to that quarter pole. The 1 has the only overlay I see, 9-5 to 15-1. All of them have par plus numbers, and they all have C zones. So
yes, our race shape for the 5th race here, the mile and the 16th. Well, most everybody middle back again. Not surprising considering the bias favors late speed types. Although, again, if the 3 and the 2, particularly the 2-horse, can get out there and run a reasonable fractions, especially if they have any late ability, it could be difficult. Good, better, best. Oh, hold on a second. At the beginning of the race, Katie's a Lady, along with the 1 Simply Striking, they'll be out there. Maybe they can. One of these 4 can get off to a good, easy start. When the race is coming to a close, Good, better, best is the good, better, best late closer in there. Maria's Honor will keep it busy at the end as well. Our top 4 total pace horses here are the 1, 2, 3, and 8. Maybe considering that the outside bias is the best bias, Terry, maybe Maria's Honor of those 4 is the one to focus on.
Well, I like in this race the 7. She finished 3rd versus Tupper in her last race. Drops in class today. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then 2, Good, Better, Best is my second choice. Has won 5 races out of the last 8 starts, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 3, Katie's a Lady. She finished 3rd versus Tupper in her last race and drops in class today. Number 8, Maria's Honor is my long shot. Finished third versus in her last race, and she won the previous races, the 2 previous races, and has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me here.
We both start with Damaso, the 7 horse. We both start with the 7, 2, and 3. Well, Damaso drops from a non-graded stakes race. This race is 2 lengths easier than the one it just ran in. Should be forward, but not necessarily needing the lead, and runs well with some time in the barn to recharge. Good, better, best. That one comes in from Gulfstream Park. The lone Tampa Bay turf run, though, wasn't all that solid. Again, horses that come from Southern Florida, from Miami to Tampa, tend to improve. Maybe they like the weather better. I don't know. Katie's a Lady, the 3 horse. This is the right distance. Winner 5 of 9 at $1.16. And they ran the other distances, or any other distance, 21 times and just collected the top prize in only 3. And then Simply Striking, the 1 horse, is a long shot with a chance. It is, again, our simulation favorite status. Only horse that checks every single box. And what I mean by that, again, is if you head on over to my Twitter, HRT Rich, you'll see here in, what race are we in? Race number 5, Terry?
Yeah.
Race number 5. Up here, I took some of the stats and just ranked the top 4. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 is in every single box. One of the few horses that's in every single box, might be the only one. So I figured, you know what? It checks all the boxes. Terry's favorite betting handicapping angle. I'm going to do a $2 exacta key box again with that long shot, the 1, with the 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8. And hope it goes the 2 longest shots in proper order, and maybe collect a nice exacta there as well. Race 6 brings us to the beginning of the late pick 4. We got 3 minutes before race number 2, Terry, so let's muscle our way through this one.
Okay, 6 furlongs, and it's a claim race, $5,000 claim price, $18,000 purse for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
6 furlongs does favor horses with some early speed. We talked about 56%, more than half. Go wire to wire. There's an inside to outside bias. The rail, Queen of Chill, really gets an edge over the rest of the field, Terry. So if Queen of Chill has some jets when the gates open, might have a good shot, but looks like some of those jets are to its outside.
That's right. And all of the horses show speed in here, and a lot of them are pretty close. So it's an anyone guess race. One has an overlay to 9-2 to 5-1. The 3 has an overlay from about 3-1 to 9-2, and the 6 has an overlay from 6-1 to 10-1. And then all of them show par plus, and all of them show C zones.
Now this 5 horse here, borderline 30, good chance to be forward, maybe one that can go wire to wire, where a whole bunch just do that. If we're looking for the early speed here in the 6th race, well, these 3 right here might be the quickest or most forwardly placed, 4 right in the mix. Pretty balanced affair there, but it does look like that 5 horse top look is more than a length faster when the gates open to the quarter-mile marker than everybody else in the field. Bunch of competition for that shotgun spot, so look out. Late speed, if they all go too fast, Mortastic, the one in the back. Well, that one will be coming, the most rush at the end. The closer also has the tie for the top total pace. There's that speed horse, the 5, then the 1. So 1, 3, 5, and 8, Terry, those are the top 4. Winners likely to come from that group, and you went somewhere else.
I did. I went with the 6, Rowdy or Daisy. She drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then the number 5, Top Look, finished 4th in her last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer and wins 27% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back. Race again, and she has a high percentage winning jockey as well. Lovely Lisa is my 8. Is the 8 horse. She ran 2nd versus Tupper in her last race. She has a high percentage figure at today's distance. Her best dirt speed is fast among today's starters, and she has a high percentage win jockey. And then number 3 is my long shot, has won 2 races out of the last 3 starts, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4, Miami Vice, Don Johnson. It's a 3, 5, 6, 8 with the 2, 5, 8, 10 with the 2, 5 with the 1, 3, 9, $48 ticket.
Mortastic, Tampa Bay debut today. Did run the top last race, beat figure at Finger Lakes, 4 points better than everybody else. I think Finger Lakes to Tampa is maybe a little step up in class, but does have 4 solid workouts since that race, so should continue to be sharp. Got a lot of speed to run down here too. So Top Look, the 5 horse, that one has the most early speed, by more than a length than everybody else. Showed better early pace and early fractions last time, so maybe accentuates that giddy up and go today. Lovely Lisa, the 8-horse. This one's been in the money, 7-9 out of the distance. That's a good number. Another horse with improved early pace and fractions last out. And then finally, the 1-horse, Queen of Chill, was a very difficult call for me over the 6, but we get twice the C-zone. And the 6-horse at Tampa Bay Downs, 6 races, only a third to show for it. So maybe doesn't like that sandy course. The 1-horse also gets the benefit of the strong rail and the biggest class dropper in the field today. Again, 3x3 is my pick for 358, 258, 256, 189. Looks like they're about ready to go for race number 2, Terry. So let's see what the ongoings look like in round 2 today at Tampa Bay. Well, they got a couple of, they still haven't made it to the gates yet. Are we going to get a late scratch? So it looks like the horses are walking away from the gate now, not to it, which is usually tells me that they're going to change something at the end here, no? Anyway, free picks today again while we wait for the folks at Tampa Bay to figure out what it is they're doing. The Mahoning Valley picks are available in the link in the description on Twitter, on YouTube. When the show is over, please head on over to horseracingtoday.net. Right there in the middle of the screen, we will post all of our thoughts and comments for today, along with a replay of the video in the description on YouTube. We'll timestamp every race again, so you can come back, watch race number 8, Tafum, again, so you can see Terry's best bet and why he likes the horse he likes, Sir, something or another, to win today. And hit that HRT gear button right there and find yourself a nice sweatshirt like this, or a nice Horse Racing Today hat, or to celebrate football season, get yourself a Horse Racing Today football shirt. And if you like football, again, I'm 9 games over 500 on my against the line spreads for the NFL this year. I'll be posting data sheets now that we have them set up and ready to go at HRT Rich. So if you want access to any of that, follow me. I would greatly appreciate more friends over there, Terry.
All right.
Well, we're still waiting, Terry. So to make sure they don't miss anything we do here, what's the best course of action?
Well, as I've said before, you go to the YouTube channel for us, our podcast, and go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube podcast. Go and hit the little button down at the bell. It'll tell you when our shows are coming up. Then hit the link at the bottom, copy it, and send it to everybody you know. Go to our social sites at Horse Race the number 2 day and give us likes and thumbs up. And also keep these comments and picks coming. It really helps us out with our algorithms.
Yeah, absolutely. So it does look like they're making their way right now to the gates at Tampa Bay. The 4-horse, it's pizza time. It's the 1-1 favorite. I know that 1-1, most people want to stay away from that, but we have it as the 1-2 favorite. So you're getting, according to our simulation, you're getting twice the value you should. So when people talk about value, it's not always necessarily odds. Some people say, well, it's got to be 5-1. Well, if a horse is 5-1, but its odds should be 20-1, you're not getting any value at all. You're getting more than you're paying for. To me, that's the definition of value. And at 1-1, according to our simulations, there's still value with the 4-horse. Other horses that are providing value for us right now look like, well, the 3-horse Golden Cash, we got it at 6-1. It's 34-1 right now. The 5-horse, 32-1. It's 32-1. How about that, Terry?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And that looks like about it. Looks like the 4-horse and the 3-horse. So maybe a $1 exacta box 3-4. And of course, in that scenario, you're hoping that the 3 wins. So they're running right now. And the 6-horse, El Galan, the one that we projected would be a part of the early pace, indeed is. The 1-horse got off to a little bit of sluggish start. He is trying to find his way into the mix, but the 4, it's pizza time. The 6 are out front. As they head down the backstretch, find their way. Ooh, they're going pretty quickly, Terry. 21 and 0.93, so just a touch under 22 seconds. That's a little bit on the fast side, I'd say. So you're going to have a little bit of strength to hang on there, I feel like. Mm-hmm. The 4-horse right now at He says he 8-5. His odds went up at the end. The 6 horse, he's hanging tough in there, Terry. The 4 and the 6 are really battling out. The 1 horse is kind of falling off the pace a little bit. 4 horse jockey still has, and he's got a real tight hold. The 6 horse's jockey is the first to the whip, so that tells me he feels like the 4 horse is pulling away from him. The 4 horse indeed is pulling away. The question is who's going to rally up for second, or is that 7 horse going to, because the 4 horse is kind of going up the track a little bit. I don't think the 7's going to catch him. I think the 4 is an easy winner, Mr. Terry. Okay. And interestingly, one of the few times, Terry, we've seen a horse where its odds go up once the race starts. So the 4 horse, 20 to win, 10 to place on the 4. Also starts our pick 4s. And the 2 horse ended up being the favorite at 1-1. And it one didn't even show up, Terry.
No, he didn't. He ran dead last most of the race.
Yeah, so there you have it, folks. We move on to race number 7. It is a 9 race card, so 3 to go, Terry. The first of the 3, talk to me.
It's a mile, and it's on the turf again, and it's a claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, purse $20,500. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards, which had never won 2 races.
If I could, shameless self-promotion for a minute here, Terry. I would say one of the things, Terry, you know, when we've done this show, I was always reluctant just to pick a horse to win. When we first got started, I would do a lot of exactas, trifectas, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things being in those horse racing contests, the people who win them that go off to Las Vegas and stuff like that, they typically really load up on a horse to win. So I knew I had to find a way to really identify 1 or 2 horses on the card that had the best chance to win. And a lot of this journey to these sheets was really that quest. And I feel like one of the things they really do is help me pinpoint horses that they're not necessarily going to win, but have the best chance to win, I feel like, on the day and still pay a decent amount. And that's something I think when you use the sheets, I believe it'll make you a better handicapper as well to find horses to really isolate on your picks for the day. So in the 7th race at a mile on the turf for the second time, you're looking for closers. Again, only 11% have won wire to wire. Your post positions are fair, so nobody's really going to get a big edge or a big discount. Small discounts for 2 and 3, small bonus for 8 and out. Speed's really not that important, Terry, other than getting yourself properly positioned. And I pressed the wrong damn button. I will press the right one now. So if you want some speed, Terry, well, it looks like 3 of them are your primary speed horses with all of the eligibles and MTO scratching out.
Yeah, the 10, 3, and 9 show all the more speed than the rest. They could all go head-to-head to the quarter pole. Just depends on who gets out there first. 2 has the only overlay I see, 2-1 to 4-1. 2 has the best par plus number, and all but the 3 and 6 do have some par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
Hey, do me a favor. If you're watching on Twitter right now, pick up your mouse and just hit the retweet button. That's a great way to help the show and introduce a lot of people who are looking for horse racing content to Terry and I. And heck, if you just told your friend to bet on the 10 horse, or 2 days ago, Terry's best bet, you would have collected over $400. You'll have more friends if you point them to winners, Terry, not less, right?
That's right.
So our race shape for the 7th race today looks like this. Well, closers win. By golly, they said, I have a closer in the barn. I'm entering him in this race. Only the 10 and 6 want to be forward. So this is a case where really if the 10 can get off to a good start, a lot of similar speed to its inside. So could be a difficult task to run around everybody to get to the lead. But if it does, could add to that very small number of horses that went wire to wire. Toro Forward, boy, that one has the most late speed by 12 points, about 2.5 lengths quicker than everybody else. Will be about 2.5 lengths off of the lead. So maybe a wire photo finish at the wire. 3 horses, 2, 7, and 10, tied for that top position, Terry. Heck, you never know. Maybe you should go with the 10 horse. That's probably a long shot. Which one did you go with?
I went with the 8. Adios Buccaneer. He finished 3rd versus Tougher in his only start. Best turf speed is fast among today's starters. Tied with another horse. Has a high percentage winning jockey. And then the 5, Don't Be So Grouchy, is my second choice. Ran 2nd versus similar on the dirt in his last race. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Toro Forward, the 2, is my third choice, finished third versus similar in the last race, and as the favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 31% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And his best start speed is fast among today's starters. He actually tied with the 8 horse. And then 10 Dither is my long shot. Trainer wins 20% of the races when bringing a horse back after 90 plus days away and can improve at returning to a route. No additional bets for me here.
I'm going to start off with Adios Buccaneer. We're in Tampa Bay. How can you not bet on a Buccaneer? Its limited resume says a big jump in the second race is very possible. Don't be so grouchy, the 5 horse. Again, Pablo Morales, Tampa Bay. It's like betting on a Buccaneer down there. Just missed at this level last out. Only the second try on turf and making a class drop today. Number 2, Toro Forward. That is right now our simulation favorite. Has run hot when it's got a little bit time in the barn. Also our top par plus horse. Plenty of solid workouts prepping for the first race since middle of April. That one should be really raring to go. Peace, not war. That's some good advice right there, Terry. Third start after a layoff, one of the most classic of all handicapping angles. First try on turf, perhaps a question mark to answer there. But if you dig through the past performances, you will see its 2 best races. One of them was on all weather. The other one was on an off dirt track. Many times those are good indicators of how a horse will perform on the dirt from the grass. So why not go with peace over war? No additional bets for me. We now move into the last 2 races for the late daily double, starting in race number 8, where Terry will tell us what the conditions are here.
6.5 furlongs, claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, purse $21,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
So 6.5 furlongs, another one of those distances where you better have a lot of juice when the gates get open. Early speed wins. 2 out of the 4 races so far have been won by the winner. I think the other 2 rode shotgun. So only 4 races, not a big enough data set to say, yes, this is a trend. But from what we see so far, speed does help. And then so far, all of the winners have come from 2 through 7. But again, only 4 winners so far. I would say based upon the data sample from 6 furlongs to 6.5 furlongs, speed will be a key, Terry. In the 8th race, who's got the most of it?
Well, as you can see there, they all show speed, but that 5 shows more speed than the rest, double the closest one to it. And then the 1 has a overlay from 4-1 to 6-1. The 4 has an overlay from 13-1 to 15-1. The 7's overlay is 3-1, 12-1. All but the 8 show par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones, especially the 1 and the 4 and the 2.
And if you're new, C zone, we do 1,000 simulations. And in our simulations, we single out the horse's best race. And then we compare today's projected pace to the horse's best race to see how closely they match. And 89% of the time, our pace matched the best performance for Song Runner. And par plus, that's another score that might be unfamiliar. In our 1,000 simulations, we want to see how many times the horse runs a speed figure equal to or better than the Brisnet average or par speed figure for the conditions. You see it's 84. Again, the 1 horse, 2,720 times speed figure qualified for par or better. That's where those numbers come in. Very good indicators if a horse fits or not at this level. Very balanced race here. The 5 horse, Terry's best bet, Sir Robert Hall, might have the best trip of all today because it doesn't need the lead despite having the early pace advantage. I would suspect it'll probably let the 1, the 2, the 3 go out. One of those horses, maybe even the 7, do the early heavy lifting and then try to close the race at the end as the EP type. If not, Road Minister has the most late speed. Granted, success is in that mix too. Our top 4 total pace horses, a great place to look for winners. Again, 3 of them, the 2, the 5, and the 7, they're considerably better than the rest. I would say there's a strong chance one of those 3 wins. Terry says there's a very strong chance it turns out to be the 5.
Yeah, I like the 5, Sir Robert Hall. He won his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Granted success, his second choice 2 horse has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Ambulant, the 7 is my third choice, finishing the money in 4 out of the last 5 races, winning 2 of the starts. Maptitude, the 3 is the long shot. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 25% of the races in the second start with this trainer, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to bet 10 to win, 16 to place on number 5, $5 exacta box 2, 257. And then I'm going to bet, see, I got to change here. Then I'm going to bet exacta 5 on top.
Oh, the 2, 3, and 7.
Yeah, with the 2, 3, and
I'll
7.
take care of it. 5 over the 2, 3, and then 7. And your last one
Is a 50 cent, a $4 daily double. The 2 and the 5 with the 1, 5, 8, and 9.
I'm going to go with the 5-horse 2, Sir Robert Hall. Top last race speed figure was 5 points clear of the next closest horse. And I point that out because Andrew Beyer, the godfather of speed figures, in his books talks about any horse that ran a speed figure 3 points higher than the next closest horse in today's race are horses that you have to pay particular attention to. Its CV says an aggressive uptick is very likely today in the second start after a layoff. All of the race internals were better in the first start. The fractions were sharper too. Mr. Jack, the 6 horse, that one gets the second call for me. Probably the most consistent performer in the race. Does tend to run fairly well when it's fresh. Granted success, the 2 horse, the third pick for me, just needs to rerun the first race that he tried at Tampa Bay. That was 2 races ago to catch the W here. Only one of 2 horses in the field so far that have hit par for this level in a race. I know we do the par plus, but there's a math formula behind that indicates probability it can go above. And then finally, number 3, Maptitude. That is the other one that has a par race on the resume. It's 30 to 1. With a par race, you know it can hit what is needed to win here. So why not? I'm going to put that one again in that long shot exacta key box play of the day type betting for me. 3 over the 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7. And if any of my long shot exacta box hits today based upon the 4-horse winning, it'll be another positive ROI day for Benny and the bets. Last chance to find something to hopefully enhance your ROI today at Tampa Bay Downs will be race number 9. It is the final race on the card. Tomorrow, before we do race number 9, Terry, tomorrow we are going to do Gulfstream Park, get our hooks into the championship meet down there at Gulfstream Park. I'm not sure what we'll do for Foreign Friday with Tom. He said if all else fails, it'll be Hong Kong. I suspect I'll get a note from him tomorrow on what we'll do for Foreign Friday. You don't want to miss any of that, Terry, to not miss it. Very simple steps to follow.
Well, one thing, if you're watching our show right now and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and then hit the bell so you're notified about like Foreign Fridays. Go ahead and copy the link below and share it with everybody you know so that they can come and take a look at us too and see if they like what they see. I know they're going to. Go to our social sites such as X, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, and Instagram at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like. And then keep these comments coming as Private Ross and Don Johnson, Tayfun has been doing, as we like to see the comments and we like the picks. They help us out.
Yeah, indeed. Again, any interactivity between you and us really helps boost our search engine scores, so more people will find us when they search for horse racing. More people will find us if we can pick some winners, Terry. So let's talk about the conditions, and then we can build a profile of a winner for race number 9.
Okay, well, this 9th race is a 6 furlongs, $5,000 claiming race. It's an $18,500 purse for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since June 18th.
At 6 furlongs, we've talked about this a couple of times before. You definitely need a little bit of octane when the gates open because 56%, that's a big number. Lawrence Taylor, the best 56 ever. They go wire to wire. There's a strong inside-out bias with the rail. No Angel really being the biggest benefactor of that inside edge. Speed on the inside, Terry. We're sounding like we're doing parks again. We'll do that on Monday. But for today, if you want inside speed, Terry, well, it looks like that's where most of it could be found.
Yeah, they all show speed, but the 4, 2, 1, and the 9 have all the speed compared to the rest. The 1 has an overlay 9 to 5 to 9 to 2. All but the 6 show par plus, and all of them show C zones.
Yes. And again, early speed on the inside could be a key here in race number 9. Well, the 4 horse, oof, Rocka Cruz. That one is a lone E. The 9 pressure horse, everybody else middle back. Boy, Rocka Cruz gets to the front. It could win, really, considering the race shape. Whoever goes forward has a chance to win. It looks like Volkert on the outside, though a lot of very similar speed to its inside. So that 9 horse doesn't need the lead. If he can get an easy lead, could add to that 56% wire-to-wire number. Colonel Klink. Boy, do you remember that show, Terry? Hogan's Heroes?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Hogan's Heroes.
Indeed. That one has the most late speed. Most of them in here, though, in the similar zip code. Maybe not that big of an advantage. At the end, No Angel. It's the 3-point top total pace horse in here. Again, a top 4, normally where our winner is found. Most of the time, the winner is found in Terry's top 4, too. So who do you got?
I like the 5, Colonel Klink. He won 2 races out of the last 3 and drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like the 1, No Angel, ran second versus similar in his last race. The rail post win a 24% clip. He can improve at the shorter distance. The 9 is my 3rd choice, drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Feast 8, the Feast. He won his last race, has the highest speed fare at today's distance. His best start speed is fast among today's starters. He's my long shot. No additional bets as I'm out of money.
Thank you for joining us today, Don. We greatly appreciate it. For more insights, again, Horse Racing, HRT Rich on Twitter, HRT Rich on Twitter, where I did link to today's data sheet. Get a look at that. They'll be coming fast and furious for all tracks no later than the start of 2025. And that's just phase 1, folks. There's a couple more phases coming that I think will make you even a better handicapper. As for me, in race number 9, you went through your picks, right, Terry?
I did, yes.
I like the 1 horse, No Angel, gets that strong rail, probably better in its second start after a layoff. This horse has run second 4 races in a row. Eventually, it has to beat a horse. At the distance, 6 times out, 2 wins, 3/3. So maybe this is the distance it can turn a 2 into a 1. Feast, the 8 horse, did run some better fractions last out. Almost always an indicator, signs of life, that today's race will be a better one too. The 9 horse, Volkert, this one's coming up again from Gulfstream Park and the Naira circuit, is a track dropper with plenty of upside potential. And then finally, we're going to go with the Hogan's Hero horse. No, I don't. Why do I have this? It's supposed to be James Gang. I don't know why I have Colonel Klink there. But it's supposed to be the 2, folks, not the 5, James Gang. It was a really hard call for me over the 5, but the inside is better than the outside, and it is a class and track dropper. Why do I have the 5? I don't know, in my mind. Nonetheless, I don't know. The name's wrong. It's supposed to be James Gang, but in my notes, it says Colonel Klink. So I got that wrong for some reason. So my apologies, folks, for the mistake there. Here are our full picks for today, Terry, for Tampa Bay Downs. Again, tomorrow we'll stay in Florida for Gulfstream Park. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. Retweet if you haven't already. Give us the thumbs up. Share our content freely. Any interactivity, again, helps us a lot. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's a great way to support the show. Terry, before we go off tomorrow for Gulfstream Park, any final thoughts from you on Hump Day with Hollywood Hay?
Yeah, just stay safe. Watch out for the bad weather wherever it's raining or snowing. Give your loved ones a hug and a kiss because you never know what's going to happen. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. We'll see you tomorrow again for Gulfstream Park. No matter what you do today for the rest of this Hump Day, we certainly hope if you're chasing your life dreams, hey, you're just trying to catch some Z's today to catch up on lost sleep, getting ready for the holidays. We certainly hope that it has God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing that you do until we get back together again ends up in our favorite place, and that is
the winner's circle.
Yes, indeed. See you tomorrow. Make it a blessed Wednesday.